This is a quick reminder to remind you that you are the operant power. So what that means is you are the creator of your reality. Whatever you say goes. And the beautiful thing about that is you make your own rules. Whatever you say goes. So even though the 3D tells you that, well, you don't have what you want now, your bank account is still uncomfortable, you're still single, or whatever it is you are trying to manifest now. Remember, the 3D is only reflecting your old story. So if you are experiencing undesirable results right now, it just means that your old story is still running the show. But when you change your story that's playing in your mind every day, when you just change that channel from lack to abundance, or whatever it is you want, for example, you want to manifest true love, you just have to accept that you are now in a loving relationship and that it gets more loving and amazing every day in every way. And you just have to tell yourself that everybody is now happy for you now that you're in this loving relationship. And ask yourself, now that I am in this loving relationship, how does it make me feel? How am I thinking? How am I acting? How do I relate to other people? When you ask yourself this, you'll know exactly what your new personality is supposed to be. And when you have that clarity, all you do is remain faithful. Just remain faithful, and you saturate your mind with this new story. What do I mean by saturate? Make sure that this new story is now your dominant thoughts. It's your dominant way of thinking. It's your new normal, your new way of life. Remember, you have to be all in. You have to be all in. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have to be all in. Ask yourself now, do you really want your manifestations? How bad do you want it? Okay, if it's a million%, then you have to believe that you received it yesterday. And you remain faithful to this new acceptance, this new state, this new assumption, this new story. You remain faithful. Even if the 3D tells you otherwise, you just have to tell the 3D, nope, you have it already. And if the 3D see you respond that way, and then it's going to start to conform, because the 3D is simply reflecting your old story. It's reflecting your old story. But when you remain faithful to your new story, the 3D then conforms, which is a beautiful thing. When I manifested my beautiful wifey, I accepted that I was already blissfully married, and I remained faithful to that new assumption for 3.5 months. After 3.5 months, boom, she showed up. And when she showed up, I knew exactly it was my wife. Why? Because I made a list. I made a list in what I actually wanted in a woman. And when I looked at the list, I was like gobsmacked. I was like freaking shocked. I was like, oh my God, this is you. And guess what? More. So she was everything on that list and more. So it was like I won the lottery and the freaking jackpot at the same time. So if this can happen to me, it can happen to you as well. And we also have helped clients in the past, both male and female, to manifest their SPs as well. And so if it can work for them, of course it can work for you as well. Why? Because all you have to do is just accept that you are married yesterday, or that you got your SP yesterday, or that you got your manifestations yesterday. You just have to accept that you got it yesterday, and then remain faithful to that, irrespective what the 3D tells you. And I know a lot of people struggle with this because they react to the 3D and they look for a validation in the 3D and say, wow, it's not here, this stuff does not work. The 3D is simply reflecting your old story. When you remain faithful to your new story, the 3D then changes. You see, that's how it works. It's a beautiful thing, and you have to understand that you are the operant power. You make the rules. The 3D is not you. The 3D is a reflection of your old story. So when you change from the old to the new, saturate your mind with the new story, your 3D then changes. It's a beautiful thing. And if you need help, we actually work with people one-on-one. One-on-one daily accountability coaching. We work with you on a daily basis to remind you that you already manifested all your desires. We remind you every single day that, hey, it's already a done deal. Congrats. Just imagine you working with someone and your mentors and your coaches constantly remind you that it's a done deal. You know what that does to your mind? It's like, oh yeah, of course, it's a done deal. But it's a beautiful thing. So if you do, need help, you can find all the details in the description. But having said that, guys, let me be the first to congratulate you and say that congrats on manifesting all your desires. Creation is finished. It's already a done deal. All you need to do is just choose what you want and then remain faithful to that. And then the 3D changes and gives you what you want. You see, you give yourself what you want in your mind. You are the operant power.